Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my 17th Facebook Live. You can watch all my previous ones at my website, aprilhenry.com, or my YouTube channel, which is also called April Henry. My plan is to do these every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time until I run out of topics, which so far I have not. So today is my birthday. Probably for sure going to be the weirdest birthday I've ever had so far. Um, I've done some exercises. I started doing a bunch more body weight exercises at home since I couldn't do jiu-jitsu anymore. And I actually spent a week worried that I had COVID-19 because I ate so much, but it turned out that, hey Karen, that it was just from doing all these body weight exercises I wasn't doing before. Plus, I found some dumbbells in a corner that were all dusty and started using them. So I did my body weight exercises. I went on a virtual walk with a friend. We used to go on real walks, but now we walk. She walks the same route we used to walk, and her dog wonders where I am, and I walk a route, and we talk on our phone. And then after I'm done doing this, I'm going to go down to Barber World Foods, which is a funky world food emporium by my house, and I'm going to buy some fava beans because what's a birthday without fava beans? So today's T-shirt is hindsight 2020, and I plan on volunteering in the election for numerous Democratic candidates because I feel like hindsight is 2020. But today I'm going to be talking about handling violence in a book. So violence in a young adult book can be tricky, and sex can be even trickier. Graphic violence is not something even most adults want to read. They do not want every last detail. In fact, most people would rather fill it in with their own imagination, and their own imagination is going to be better. So there's basically 3 ways to handle violence in a book when you're writing about it. Slowing it down, not describing it at all, and underplaying it. So the examples that I'm going to read from, I wrote after I was I was running and I tripped on a crack and I fell, and I felt my teeth hit the sidewalk, but I didn't break any of them, but I did fracture the bridge of my nose, and I ended up with 2 huge black eyes, which did not heal for like a month. So here are 3 different ways of writing about what happened to me. This is the slowing it down, which is basically in a book you write the slow things fast and the fast things slow. So if something is very exciting, and it goes fast, you would write it slowly. If something is boring, you write it quickly. So here's the slowing things down version. Running up 45th, April's toe caught on a crack in the sidewalk. The next thing she knew, she was in the air. Time slowed down, the way it did when you reached for a glass and knocked it over instead. She got her hands up in front of her, felt them skid along the dirty cement, but the momentum wasn't slowed. Oh no, she thought, not her face. Then there was the solid surprise of her nose meeting the ground, and still April fell. Her front teeth hit the cement, wavered, decided to stay put, and finally she was still, face down, unmoving, on a cool Sunday morning. So that is, wow, whoever made that little bursting thing, I didn't know you could do that. That is the first version of telling it by slowing it down. The next thing is to make the reader fill in the blank. I call it the monster in the closet. The monster in the closet is much scarier when you haven't seen it yet. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that horror movies don't show you the scary thing. Even in Stranger Things, the scary thing is much scarier when you don't see it. So this is making the reader fill in the blank. 1 minute, April was running, mentally writing her next live journal entry. The next thing she knew, she was flat on the sidewalk. Something was terribly wrong. Her face felt wet. And then there's a little space break to show a change in point of view. The woman standing by the side of the road was frantically waving her arms. At least Josh thought it was a woman. Her face. Jesus Christ, what had happened to her face? So that is making the reader fill in the blank about what's happened to April's face. And here's the third way of doing it, underplaying the prose, kind of think Hemingway. It's kind of another version of a monster in the closet. She ran up the hill. It was Sunday morning. Her thoughts were elsewhere. The sidewalk had lifted at an expansion joint. Her toe caught the crack. She fell very hard. She lay on the cement. Maybe she was okay. It was just a fall. She started to move, but something grated inside. Her mouth tasted like blood. Next to her was a bush with white flowers. She stared at it. Her vision was growing dark at the edges. The bush would look good in her garden. She closed her eyes and was still. So that's the third way of dealing with violence, is to really underplay it. So again, slow it down, don't describe it at all or underplay it. And then tomorrow I'm going to be talking about planting clues. So tune in for that. And I'm going to go celebrate my birthday. You guys have as good a day as you possibly can. Bye-bye.